Let's wrap this up so Mr. Wilson can have his basement back.
Well, Detective, what do you make of it? A secret room with, of all things, a skeleton propped up in the corner?
Well, it seems like what you stumbled onto today, Mr. Wilson, may have taken care of a mystery that's been unsolved in Appleton for better than 20 years.
You don't say.
Well, yeah, lucky for us, there was a wallet in the pants pocket of this over here, and this man is a man named Spencer Barfield. Sound familiar?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's right. You weren't living in Appleton in the 20s.
The 1920s?
That's right, young lady. Spencer Barfield came to Appleton back in 1920. He was a typical drifter, no family that we know of, sort of came out of nowhere. He actually worked as a handyman right here in this building. Back then, it used to be a hardware store.
I remember reading somewhere that this used to be a hardware store. How does the dead man fit in all this, Detective?
Well, in 1920, the Appleton Bank was robbed by one person, possibly two. We're not for sure who, but we know they made off with about $25,000.
That's a lot of money.
I remember reading about that in history class. That was the first time anything like that ever happened here in Appleton.
Yes, I was a police rookie then, and it caused quite an uproar.
What does all this mean?
Well, mean? I don't suppose it means anything.
But Spencer Barfield was murdered. I saw the bullet hole in his shirt.
Well, it's a .38 caliber bullet hole to be exact. It's pretty obvious what happened here. Spencer had a partner who double-crossed him, shot him, and put him in here and took off with the money.
Guess the only thing left is to look for the partner.
After 20 years?
Well,
Oh, you must be joking, Mr. Wilson. What's the point? Well, even if the partner was still alive, he couldn't possibly be found. And well, as for the money, $25,000 won't last 20 years. Well, I want to thank you for all your help, Mr. Wilson. If you don't mind, keep everybody out of this room for the next few days in case we have to go over anything again.
sure, we'll do everything we can.
Well, thank you and good day.
This is so exciting. It's just like a mystery book. I never thought something like this would happen while I was here.
Well, I don't think it's something to be enjoyed, Jamie.
No, but well, I mean, what if the other bank robbers still live here in Appleton? He's gonna be awfully nervous that we found this room.
Well, I doubt he'd stick around this long, if he's still alive.
Yeah, that's kind of exciting to think about.
Well, then don't think about it. Don't let your imagination get the best of you.
Still, there was a man killed, and we don't really know who did it or why. Spencer Barfield was a man, just like you and I. We don't know really anything about it. We don't know whether we robbed the bank. We don't know whether he was double-crossed by a partner and shot. We really don't know anything. But you know, I think it's time we found out.
But Mr. Wilson, you're talking about a case that's over 20 years old. Where would you start?
Well, where else? The newspaper office.
The newspaper office? Why there?
That's where they keep all the old newspapers.
Can we go with them, Don? Can we?
Well, only if Mr. Wilson doesn't mind.
Sure, let's go.
So 1920 issue is going to be over there, that corner over there, in that stack. Joy, here's the tissue. It might be a bit dusty.
Thank you very much.
So, what are we doing here again?
Well, the newspaper keeps a copy of all their old papers here in the back.
There's so many, this is going to take forever.
Well, the newspaper employee told us that they're back here in the back corner. Why don't we take a look? Well, looks as though they're all separated into years, maybe?
This is exciting. I feel just like a detective.
Oh, 1920. Come over here, girls. Now, we need to go find the issue that covers the robbery. It should be a front page, so Jenny, why don't you go through this section? And Don, why don't you go through these? And I'll go through the staff.
I think I found it. June 8th, 1920 issue. The front page says, Appleton Bank was robbed overnight. The Appleton Bank was robbed in the middle of the night on June 7th, 1920. It is estimated that $25,000 was stolen by one, possibly two thieves, according to the bank manager, Ranger.
You know, if I remember correctly, a couple of years ago that Mr. Flint retired from the bank and lives up on Chadwick Hill.
Chadwick Hill?
Oh, I forgot, you're not from around here. You see, Chadwick Hill is a very old, well-to-do part of town. What else did the article say, Don?
New police Ralph Davis
Hector Davis.
Ah,
was doing his rounds and was apparently knocked unconscious when they were coming out with the money. You couldn't confirm the number of bank robbers or what they looked like, and the mayor is shocked. And the rest of it really doesn't help us any at all. Well, isn't that interesting? The detective didn't say any of that this morning.
So, what do we do now?
well, I think we should go see Mr. Flint. Maybe he knows a few things that the paper didn't mention in the article.
Let's go. This mansion.
Well, I think he inherited it from his parents.
Taking care of his stuff. It almost looks deserted.
Well, let's hope not.
Kind of spooky, isn't it? I mean, it looks like one of those haunted houses you see in the movies. What was that?
Now, don't scare yourself, girls. It's just a house, you know.
Well, I guess he's not home.
But somebody is!
Oh, come on, girls. You know the wind just blew the door open. Well, let's see if Mr. Flint's home. Mr. Flint? Mr. Flint, are you home? Hello? Hello?
Mr. Wilson, look!
Huh, Mr. Flint must be a collector.
What is it? It looks like it's from Africa or something.
Yeah, we've got tribal masks, ancient statues, blowpipes, and darts.
Don't take another step or I'll call the cops. What are you three doing here? What do you want?
We just wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Sure you do. Why would anybody want to talk to me?
Well, we're actually trying to find out about the Appleton bank robbery back in 1920. You were the bank manager.
You don't think I know that? I was manager of that bank for 35 years until they forced me to retire.
Can you maybe give us some details around that?
No. I don't know how many people came in. I don't know what was going on.
Do you know how they got in?
Well, they got in through a back window. They cut the alarm box wires and crawled through. Back then, alarm systems were pretty simple compared to what we have now. But I don't want to talk about it anymore. I nearly lost my job over that robbery.
Really? Why?
Because the president of the bank thought I was careless and let it slip where the alarm box was hidden. It was supposed to be a secret, you know.
It was?
Yeah, the only people that were supposed to know was the president of the bank, me, and the cops. Personally, I think it was an inside job.
An inside job? What do you mean an inside job?
I think somebody on the police force tipped the robbers where that alarm box was hidden. But I'm not talking about this anymore, and you three are getting out of my house. Now get out!
Okay,
Get out!
okay. Thank you, Mr.
Get
Flint.
out!
We're
Bye,
going.
Mr.
We're going.
Flint!
Get out!
Bye.
Bye!
Well, he sure seems like a nice fellow.
Yeah, right. And all that acting junk, he was in creeps.
You know who he makes me think of?
Who?
The Grinch. You're a mean one, Mr. Flint. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cat. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Flint. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
You're a monster, Mr. Flint. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Flint. I wouldn't touch you with a 3.5-foot pole.
You're a vile one, Mr. Flint. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Flint. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile.
You're a foul one, Mr. Flint. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Flint.
The three best words that best describe you are the following, and I quote, stink,
Sank.
Stunk.
Your honor, Mr. Flint, you're the king of simple thoughts. Your heart's a dead tomato squash with moldy purple spots, Mr. Flint.
Your soul is a appalling dump heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortments of deplorable rubbish imaginable. Mangled up and tangled up nuts.
You nauseate me, Mr. Flint, with the nauseous super nuts. You're a crooked jerky jockey and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Flint.
You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce.
Now, girls, that wasn't very nice of you. He's probably just a lonely old man. You know, I'd actually like to come back and visit him sometime.
Oh no,
What's wrong, Jamie?
we got parking tickets on our bikes.
Parking tickets on a bike? How do you get parking tickets on a bike? Well, I guess we should check this out. Huh. It's a note. And it's typed.
What does it say?
It says, leave well enough alone.
Okay, I'm officially freaked out.
Who do you think will put that on your bike, Mr. Wilson?
You know, I don't know, but I think this case just got a lot more interesting.